Consider New Me peeps, what's up? It's me, John D. Villarreal, and I'm here at the Lazarus Cancer Foundation's Center headquarters in Danville, California, and I'm here with Susan Sappington, who's the Director of Development for Lazarus. Now, Susan, thank you for being here.
No, thanks, John, so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Tell me about Lazarus. Give me the whole scoop.
Well, Lazarus Cancer Foundation was created from a personal touch. Dana Dornsife, our founder and president, her brother-in-law had pancreatic cancer. Wow. Which, if people know cancer, pancreatic is definitely a death sentence. Right. So Dana knew that if you did the same thing, you get the same results. So what happened was she decided that she needed to find her brother-in-law a clinical trial. And so she...
Well, what's a clinical trial?
That's a good question. A clinical trial is a drug that's in FDA, Federal Drug Administration, is testing for a cure. And
so cutting edge
technology. And it's not to market yet. So that means when it's in a clinical trial, it needs patients to try the drug.
To get the approval from the FDA and the whole thing.
Correct. And what people don't realize about clinical trials, I'm going to divert a minute here, is that every drug that we take now, prescription drug that we take now, you got to be careful there. Every drug that we take now has been in a clinical trial. So your Tylenols, your penicillin, everything. What people don't understand that is there are technologies out there that could be the next best thing. And our job at Lazarus Cancer Foundation is to help end-stage cancer patients, which is what Dana did for her brother-in-law. She got him into a clinical trial.
Wow.
What happened was she realized at that time, if you had a checkbook, I could write a check and get in that clinical trial, then you got to live. If you didn't, you didn't get to live.
Or at least you had hope.
You had hope.
Right.
Well, because you're right, because what happens so many times is that when an end-stage cancer patient is told there's nothing left for conventional medicine to do.
You got 3 weeks to live, a month to live, a year to live.
And who's to play God? The thing about it is the majority of people that are given this news are not ready to pack it up. They've got a lot of life left.
Who wants to die? I mean, really.
And when they're told that, they don't know where to go or what to do. So what Lazarus does is we take those patients and we help navigate their clinical trial options. Because there's many trials out there.
Yeah, it's like what do you? It's like I'm a banker, I'm a janitor, I'm a teacher. I've been told I have a year to live. What do I do now? I don't know where to go, who's got the trials, what I have to do, anything like that.
Well, because let's think about this. For however long they've been on this cancer journey, they've been told where to go, what to do, what time to be, and all of a sudden they walk into their doctor's office, and that day the doctor says, "John, there's nothing left for me to do for you." So they have nowhere to go. So what we do is we navigate their clinical trial options, because the majority of the people that are at this point in their lives, they are physically, emotionally, spiritually, and most likely financially spent. To get on to a clinical trial, it's clinicaltrials.gov. You need a medical degree. Who's going to do this? We help them. And then what happens is we give them the information, because I come from a sales background, I have not a medical background. We give them the information, they make a decision if they choose to participate. Now here's the big deal. Most times, clinical trials are not in someone's backyard.
Of course.
It's inevitable. It's across the country.
Of course.
So what ends up happening is that patient has to make a decision of the amount of money that they have left in the bank from this journey. Do I leave it for my family, or do I try this clinical trial to see if possibly I could live longer? Who should be put in that position? Nobody. So what happens is the clinical trial, the drug itself, doesn't cost the money. What costs the money is making the decision to relocate, or if they have to go by air once a week, or if they have to pay gas, or parking in San Francisco, let's say.
You know 30 bucks a day.
Thank you. That's where we come in and help alleviate those financial burdens from them.
That's so cool. And what kind of results in general have you guys seen with helping these folks out with the clinical trial stuff? And of course it's going to vary from trial to trial, cancer to cancer, everything like that, but just broad strokes.
Our success rate is not on who lives or who dies.
Okay.
Okay? Our success rate is a milestone. Many of these patients...
I mean, we're all going to die eventually, right?
Correct.
Right, yeah.
You know, here's the thing that happens for us is there's many cancer foundations out there.
Right.
And the majority of them are about research. And God bless them.
Yeah.
But for our patients, they need help today. So what happens for us on that success rate is if someone has been given hope that they could live to the next Christmas or to see their 4-year-old get to be 6 years old or the next Thanksgiving that's coming up, whatever that milestone is, that's what's really important to us.
Wow, yeah.
So what happens is we've had patients that have been with us since 3.5 years. That's how long we've been around. We've had patients that were with us for a year. But what was more important is that year, the family did everything that they could. They had the hope that this particular, whatever clinical trial they were in, was going to be the thing. And if that person did end up passing, at least the family felt that they did everything.
Yeah,
that's a big
peace of mind.
deal.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That is a big deal. There's no question about it. But in general, I mean, and again, you know, we're not making any claims here or anything like that, and we're not doctors and you know, work with your doctor and medical professionals, everything like that. But as a charity, you know, obviously you feel like this is money and time well spent for donors and yourselves.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You know, let me just tell you, 90% of every dollar that comes into this foundation goes directly to the patient. You find a foundation that does that. That is a huge statistic. So yes, when you're saying is it beneficial, we're giving hope and dignity in life to end-stage cancer patients. As far as we know, John, we are the only ones that do this.
Yeah.
There could be, but we don't know of that.
Right.
The most unique thing about Lazarus Cancer Foundation is that we deal with every type of cancer. And can I just tell you, that's a huge thing because a lot of families or just, you know, people I personally know, their families have dealt with many different types of cancers. And even though it's great that there's, you know, the breast cancer and the lung cancer and this cancer,
exactly.
What we do is, it's almost like a one-stop shopping. You know, we have every type of cancer, so when a family has many types of cancers that they want to support, when they're supporting Lazarus Cancer Foundation, they're supporting every type of cancer.
No, that's huge. And obviously with all the new technology that's coming now, with the genetic, you know, the therapies and the drugs and this and that, whatever, there's some really great cutting edge breaking stuff that's starting to come now and in the short-term future that could be the real trick to helping really, you know, extend people's lives and maybe eventually cure them.
Well, and the most important thing is getting patients to those clinical trials.
Yeah.
See, that's a big deal too, because if they don't have the amount of patients that they need to run those clinical trials, those drugs will never come to market. And that's a travesty.
So how much in general, on average, does it cost for a person to do a clinical trial, like for one of your patients and stuff like that? What?
You know, we are asked this all the time, John, I swear to God. We're asked this all the time, and I have to be really honest with you because...
It varies.
It does, and we can never give that number because, here's a perfect example. We have patients that are from North Carolina that are in Southern California. So we pay for their apartment.
Wow, yeah.
Okay. Well, Southern California, Santa Monica, hello, you know, $2,500 to $3,500 a month for
Exactly.
Okay. Then we had a patient who comes from from LA to San Francisco, UCSF, and she only comes up once a month, and she has to stay at the Residence Inn, and we pay for her rental car. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
that's a much cheaper.
It just depends on the patient and the clinical trial. When we're looking at helping a patient, it's truly amazing that $50, $100 can make a difference. You know, when people come to the Bay Area, which is where we are, and they have to drive into San Francisco and pay for parking, it is incredibly overwhelming to them. So seriously, $50 or $100 pays for a rental car. It could pay for the parking for the day.
Yeah.
You know, that's a really good amount that I try to tell people. You know, if you have an extra 50, and I know times are tough, but everyone gives to something.
Exactly.
Or
buys a Starbucks, or goes out to dinner, to something.
If you give up Starbucks for 1 week, you've helped a patient participate in a clinical trial.
That's powerful.
It's how I live my life. It's like, do I really need this or should I? You know, and I really try to tell my friends, you know, $3.50 for coffee. If you gave that up once, you know, just for a whole week, and donated that amount to Lazarus, you've helped a patient, one patient.
That's huge. Now, you've got this big thing coming up on December 11th. Let's talk about that.
And here's a little flyer about it, because it is our first annual poker tournament.
Everybody likes poker.
Well, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's only a $60 buy-in.
That's nothing.
With food.
Well, I like the food.
Hello.
Yeah.
And alcohol will be there, of course.
Do we get to win things?
You get to win things. There's some prizes. There's a 50-50 pot. You know, yeah, there's going to be a lot of very fun things going on. And what's really great about this is it's in Concord.
Yeah.
And it's at what's called the Boys Club. It's at the Concord Airport. And we have a very dear friend of Lazarus who has this building that he is allowing us to come in. And Blue Dog Company, which is a company that puts on these poker tournaments for charity, they are the ones doing it. And it's going to be a way, way, way too much fun night. And it starts, it's December 11th. I think, let me just make sure I'm correct here. Thank you. It is at, does that say 5 o'clock? I think it says 5 o'clock, right? Because
yeah, 5 p.m.
Perfect. 5
Card play at 6 p.m.
There
the Boys Club at 288 Sally Ride Drive, Concord, California, 94520.
Right.
The $60 buy-in includes prize pool valued at more than $5,000.
Yep.
Delicious dinner, beer, wine, soft drinks, and no host bar. Optional $20 rebuy-in until the break, and a one-time $20 add-in. And then there's a $200 chip bonus if you register by December 1st. That's very, very key. And so what we're going to do here, now do you have a this information
it's
on the website?
It's on our website, lazarx.org, and that's L-A-Z-A-R-E-X.
Click on the description down there underneath the view counter there. We'll have all the information, all the stuff like that. You need to get involved in this if you're in the Bay Area, or heck, fly in, come in, hang out.
It's going to be fun.
Right?
Yeah, we're gonna have cute girls and just, you know, lots of fun. And it's really for a good cause. And it's, you know, we're trying to diversify our events by having many different fun things, because cancer is not so fun.
No.
So we're really trying to make what we do, you know, count, and if we have fun events, we'll have more people attend.
Now, will any of the, you know, the patients there or some past people, so you can meet these people and see and put a face to it, a name to it, talk to them about their stories, talk to them about the success, talk to them about what Lazarus is doing for them and how important these clinical trials are. I mean, this is it right here. And, you know, this is where people get involved, and America says, you know what, we're against cancer, we're going to do something good here. It's the holiday season. There's people that want to make it to that just to Christmas. Or make it to the next Christmas, the next Thanksgiving. And this is how, one way where you can get involved. This is a great organization, and when I found out and heard about it, I knew we needed to be involved.
Well, I truly appreciate you doing this. I do want to say one other thing. We have another program that we do called Team for Life.
Okay.
And Team for Life is a program that is with endurance events.
Yes.
You have a lot of people out in your audience that participate.
The sports and everything, yeah, we're big into that.
And I think that's fantastic, because we participate in a lot of different marathons, half marathons, and tris.
Yeah.
And we are official charities of the Disneyland and Disney World.
Wow.
And in fact, if anyone's out there that wants to participate in the Disney World Marathon weekend, which is in January, we have spots available.
Okay.
We are also going after the New York Marathon to be an official charity, because that's a lottery, and you can only get in by a charity. We're going after the Marine Corps, which is in Washington, D.C., to be an official charity. So we participate, but what's really unique about Team for Life is we also allow people to do their own event.
That is great.
Yeah, so that's
really cool.
another thing that we do to bring money in here.
Team for Life. Check that out at lazarus.org. There's all kinds of ways that you can get involved and help Lazarus out, that we can fight cancer, we can do something positive right here, right now, that is going to be so helpful for our communities and for this country and for, frankly, the world. This is important. This is where it happens. So, Susan Sappington, thank you so much. Lazarus.org.
Thank you, John. I really appreciate your time. It's very exciting to be a part of what you're doing.
Well, we love it, and we love the relationship with Lazarus, and we meet lots more with these folks. So make sure you check it out. Click on the link in the description below where you see all the information that we've talked about right here, and make sure that you check out Lazarus.org. And you have been watching Conservative New Media First. Susan and John, this is Conservative New Media, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.